Hey everybody, welcome back. Week 6 here in the NFL. We are alive, we are here, and it's getting good. It's getting real good. I mean, the league is getting fun. Week 6, there's a lot of great games. The matchups just keep on getting more enticing. So many shockers from week 5. I mean, are you kidding me, 49ers? Like, what the hell are you doing? The Dolphins dropped 43. That was crazy. We'll get into that and much more in this video. I want to start off by I guess issuing an apology, or maybe I should be getting a congratulations slash thank you for calling out the Raiders, saying they can't get in the shootout and win, saying that they have no chance against the Chiefs. Well, damn, my boy Henry Ruggs popped off yet. Well, not yet again, but he finally popped off. He did what I've been asking him to do. He did what I said he couldn't do in the last video. So it's exciting to see that happen because I had that was my idea. That was the potential I saw him have. I was like, this man could be Tyreek Hill instead of John, like Tyreek Hill or John Ross. And he was trending this way, and then he kind of popped up over here. I mean, beating him and the Chiefs. Congratulations to the entire Raiders organization. That is huge. That is a huge, huge, huge dub. I mean, confidence that has to, you just beat the Super Bowl champ, gave them their first loss, division game. You're right in it, thick of things. Like, it is huge for the Raiders and their season hopes. So congratulations to them and Henry Ruggs. And I got to give a shout out to Mike Mayock and John Gruden. I remember watching Mike Mayock on NFL Network a few years back before he took the job. And then obviously everybody remembers John Gruden on Monday Night Football. Two really likable people, two really smart people. To see them having success going from the booth back to the field is absolutely incredible. Hats off to them. Again, props to the damn Raiders. They absolutely popped off Justin Herbert. My man, Justin Herbert from the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm talking about a baller. Okay, they're 1-4, but I saw him take the Chiefs, his first ever start, into overtime, go head-to-head with Tom Brady just to have his defense kind of choke in the end. And now to do what he did against the Saints was just so, that's probably the most impressive resume you could have with losing all 3 of those games. I mean, the kid's special, and right now it's looking like that guy should have gone before Tua Tagovailoa. So, Justin Herbert, big things. Honestly, I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect it. I know a few years back there was actually talk of him being like the number 1 overall pick, like coming out of college early, and then he stayed an extra year, and then last year was kind of like, So the Chargers were able to pick him up later in the draft this year, but to say that he was going to look like that, I mean, the dude's got a rocket of an arm, and he's accurate downfield, and he's so young, and he's clutch too. I mean, that throw to Mike Williams at the end of the Saints game, only to have Badgley miss the kick, was a dime piece. Obviously, Mike Williams made a great catch, but you got to put it there. You got to give him a chance, and he did as a rookie against the Saints. I mean, we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees that this guy went toe-to-toe with, and if their defense held up in any of those games, I mean, the dude could be 3-0. That's just, to me, that's ridiculous. One of the biggest shocks of the season. Did not see that happening whatsoever. So, shout out to Justin Herbert. Keep on doing your thing. Chargers are going to suck this year, but hey, they got a bright future. So, that's always something good to look forward to. And like I mentioned earlier, going back to it, we're talking about the Miami Dolphins just absolutely wrecking the Niners. It was none of their... I mean, you want to talk about Fitz magic? That dude was a goddamn wizard. Are you kidding me? The team just dominated the 49ers in a way that nobody could have predicted. Jimmy Garoppolo gets benched. Apparently his ankle wasn't fully healthy, so now he's back to the bench. Is he playing this week? Is he not playing this week? Honestly, I haven't heard any news about it yet. Apparently they were protecting him, so they put in C.J. Beathard. Obviously, that didn't do much, but the fact that Garoppolo got benched, 2 things. Either they're telling the truth and his ankle actually isn't fully recovered and they thought, oh, it's the Dolphins, we throw him out there, he could get his feet under him. Or he is healthy and he just played like shit against the Dolphins, which would be way worse. So we're going to hope it's option number 1. And I think it's option number 1. I mean, Jimmy G might not be a top 10 quarterback, but he's no scrub. He was in the Super Bowl last year. I don't know. I don't see it being the latter. I don't see it him just sucking even though he's fully healed. I can't buy that. But I think that this speaks a lot more about the 49ers than it does about the Dolphins, because we didn't have any expectations for the Dolphins coming in, and the Niners are not defending Super Bowl champs, but they're a Super Bowl team that were in the Super Bowl last year, lost, obviously, to Patrick Mahomes. But to get embarrassed like that, I mean, that's fucking rough, dude. That's something that's going to hopefully be a fluke, because, you want to see the Niners be competitive, but at the same time, you don't want them to be a one-hit wonder, which is kind of what they're trending towards right now at 2-3. It's tough for them. I hope it doesn't get to that point. I hope they're not. Every year in the NFL is different. So one year the team can be great, the next year they can't, because so many changes happen behind the scenes. You could have the same roster and you just won't perform as well as you did last year. It's the NFL. Anything could happen, any game. So let's hope that that's not the case. And honestly, the 49ers have a great chance to prove that game was a fluke against the Los Angeles Rams, who are 4-1 at the moment and looking absolutely fantastic. Looking like they're going to make the playoffs again after missing last year. Kind of got some kinks out of the way. The running game's back to being efficient. No more Todd Gurley bringing the committee. They're looking good. They're looking fantastic. And it's going to be a tough test for the Niners to come and sort of find themselves again against a team that looks really hot right now. Obviously, that game against the Washington football team was a bit of a, I don't want to say bounce back, because they, it wasn't really, it was more of like a let's get right explosive offense type of deal. You had that 57-yarder to Robert Woods during the game, and the offense just kind of looked like it was finding itself again. So if it continues that trend, and they, if the Dolphins could put up 43, the Rams sure as hell can too. I know they're injured, the Niners on defense, with Nick Bosa out for the year, but you gotta put up more of a fight than that, So it's going to be an interesting matchup. The 49ers obviously need to bounce back, but it's going to be tough because the Rams right now have a top 10 defense and a top 5 offense. Their defense is actually ranked number 8 in total defense and number 3 in total offense. So it's not going to be an easy task for the Niners to contain them, especially with Nick Bosa out, like I was saying. It's going to be interesting. I'm expecting a big game from Jared Goff and those receivers. I'm also expecting a fight out of the Niners. I don't think they're pulling this one out based on what I saw last week and kind of what I've seen through the whole season. They kind of been in a funk, or they're almost there. They're kind of at the top of first gear and they haven't shifted into second yet. So they're just kind of riding high on the RPMs, and they, in order to keep going, they really got to shift that gear. So we'll see if that happens this week. I don't see it happening against the Rams, but I didn't see the Niners getting blown out either. So, hey, what do I know? However, we do have a fantastic matchup here. The Green Bay Packers against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is huge on multiple levels. First, it's Tom Brady's first game back since that infamous fourth down? Fourth down? Is it fourth down? I'm telling you, it's fourth down. Look, it's fucking fourth down. And then, speaking of 4, the Packers are 4-0. So the Packers on their side are looking to keep their undefeated season alive, while the Buccaneers and Tom Brady are looking to show everybody that, look, that happens to everybody. Obviously, when it happens to Brady, it's a big deal, but we're good. So I know Bucs fans are going to be nervous going into this because they want to see if their team can respond after a gaffe like that. And Packers fans are going nervous into this because they're like, well, if they do respond and Tom Brady's on his little revenge game, it's not really ideal to be against the 4-0 Packers. Obviously, they want to keep on winning. But with that being said, the matchup, what it's really about, what everybody's going to be tuning in to watch, is Aaron Rodgers, right now, in my book, the front runner for MVP, versus Tom Brady, the perennial GOAT in the National Football League. Greatest of all time versus best of all time. I mean, that's what everybody's eyes are on, and that's what my eyes are going to be on. I can't wait to see it happen. They're both depleted in their arsenal. Devontae Adams might be back this week, but that doesn't mean that he's fully recovered. He's still going to be a little hobbled. Lazard is on IR. And then when it goes to the Buccaneers, Chris Godwin was out the last 2 weeks. Hopefully they get him back this week. but Mike Evans isn't healthy. OJ Howard has been out with a ruptured Achilles, and Gronk is kind of looking like he should have stayed retired. It's going to be interesting, and I can't wait, and I'm really hoping for a shootout. I hope both defenses forget that they're playing that week, and it's just an absolute just showing of arsenals. You know, that would be a dream come true for a fan of the game. Who knows? You know, you haven't really seen too many shootouts besides that one last week with the Raiders and Chiefs. I'm hoping for a shootout, and if it's a shootout, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady. Because Aaron Rodgers, when I say best of all time versus greatest of all time, I say greatest of all time is accomplishment, right? Accolades, 6 Super Bowls in 9 appearances. That's not easy. You can't go to the Super Bowl 9 times. That doesn't happen, all right? But best of all time is when I'm watching the game and I'm watching that player play, the throws that he's making, the accuracy, the consistent dominance, and play at that position. Like, Aaron Rodgers is the best of all time, no questions asked. Now, everybody's like, Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes. Look, he's been doing it for 2.5 years. I guess 3.5 years if you count his redshirt rookie year, which he just didn't play except for the last game he got in. It was like garbage time game, you know, all the starters rested, so let's put in Patrick Mahomes. 2.5 year starter, okay? Aaron Rodgers has been doing this since like 2009. And this year, he honestly looks as good as he's ever looked. I mean, if you want to talk about QBR, through the first 4 weeks, he has the highest QBR ever since the stat was invented. Highest QBR ever. The other 2 quarterbacks are Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Both of those quarterbacks went on to set the touchdown record for that respective year. First, it was Tom Brady with 50, and then Peyton Manning with 55. So to tell me that Aaron Rodgers is not at the top of the MVP race right now is ridiculous. And to tell me that he's not playing better than he ever has before, I mean, the stats don't lie. So I'm excited, and I'm picking the Packers because Aaron Rodgers. You know, it's the same thing I say with the Chiefs. The Chiefs could have gotten blown out 50-0, but if Patrick Mahomes is playing, I'm going to pick the Chiefs. Same thing goes with the Packers. As a Bears fan, I know I'm better than most. Aaron Rodgers, like, is never, ever, ever, ever out of the game. Okay? If he has a chance with the ball in his hand to make it a game, he will make it a game. It's just that simple. You got to keep the ball out of his hands, and I don't see the Bucs doing that, especially if Fournette's out. I mean, I love Rojo. Don't get me wrong. I love Rojo. But Fournette, in my opinion, is better. And I can definitely see the Packers just taking over this game because of Aaron Jones. You know, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to be the only Aaron that pops off. Aaron Jones can do it just as well. So the Packers in this one, no doubt about it. Now we're going to jump into the NFC North, a great matchup, the undefeated Steelers versus the 4-1 Browns. Now, it's funny because when the Bears were 3-0, I heard a lot of fraud 3-0. This team is actually garbage. Why are they 3-0? Blah, 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 blah. But nobody's saying that about the Steelers. And they're 4-0 because they beat the Giants, the Washington football team, the Eagles, and if I'm not mistaken, the Jets. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Actually, as a matter of fact, let's see. Pittsburgh Steelers? Scratch that, okay? The Steelers beat the Giants, the Broncos, the Texans, and the Eagles, right? Those teams. Where is the fraud 4-0 team now? Where are the chants? Where's the outrage? Where is the social media destruction? Nowhere to be found because everybody likes hating on the Bears. But hey, that's not what this topic is about. This topic is about the Steelers and the Browns. The Browns are looking to go 5-1 and take a commanding lead in the division if they knock off the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be an interesting game. I really want to look at Claypool, right? The rookie. 4 touchdowns against the Eagles, right? Fantasy people are scrambling everywhere. Pick him up, pick him up, pick him up. Is he going to be a stock that boomed? And now everybody's trying to get in after the stock hit its peak. So when everybody gets in, it just back to irrelevancy. Or is this just a little glimpse of the future and everybody's getting in at the right time? I don't know, but I love it. It's like the fucking stock market. I love it. I love everything about it. Are you a gambler or are you somebody that's going to play it safe? Are you a bear? Are you a bull? I don't know. But what I do know is that I believe in Claypool. Matter of fact, I picked him up. I'm number 1 on the waiver wire priority, and he's going to be in my lineup this week. You know why? because I got nothing to lose. Okay, my fantasy season isn't going great, and Claypool doesn't need to drop 4 touchdowns, but if he could drop 1, but even 2, open arms, come here, let me give you a big hug. What do you want? You want champagne? You want money? You want this? You want that? You want that? You want this? Welcome. Claypool. I really want to see how that plays out, and I want to see if he can continue it out. You know, this rookie class for receivers has been insane, and if Claypool is another name to be mentioned because he's that good, I'd love to see it. Now, we get a little bit more analytical, a little bit more stat reliance. Another really interesting matchup is right now the Steelers have the number 1 total defense. Obviously, that could be a little misleading because of the competition they face, as I stated before. But the number 1 total defense going up against the number 1 total rushing offense in the Cleveland Browns, which is a big reason why they're 4-1. Honestly, blueprint of how the Ravens have been winning the last few years is just running the damn ball with Chubb and Hunt. Now, obviously, Chubb's going to be out for a little while, so Kareem Hunt's going to be taking the load with a few other guys that have really stepped up in Chubb's absence. It's going to be interesting. I want to see if the Browns can continue to dominate the line of scrimmage and just will their way to a victory. And I want to see if the number 1 defense is truly the number 1 defense or if it's just kind of a stat that was padded by bad competition. It's going to be an interesting thing to see. And, I mean, I love drama. I love upsets. I love, picking against the wind, picking against the grain, just, going against the norm. Right now, the norm is the Steelers. So I got to pick my Cleveland Browns, Baker, Odell, Jarvis, Kareem Hunt, Myles Garrett. Guys, I need you to pull out this dub. 1, it'll make me look super smart. And 2, if the Cleveland Browns beat the Steelers and are at the top of the AFC North, then we have officially reached the weirdest year peak. 2020 has become the weirdest year in existence. The Cleveland Browns in Week 6 of the NFL would be at the top of the AFC North. Nobody saw that coming, including myself. But goddamn, I would fucking love to see it. We all love to see it. I also love to see you guys tuning in and watching every week. It's awesome. Makes me motivated, makes me keep going. I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate you for sticking around to the end of the video. Because if you're here, then you're here. You know what I'm saying? It's fantastic. It's a great time talking to you. Do the same thing next week. Week 6 NFL. Let's go. Let's get it.